And here we are, and as mentioned, this will be a Mannadium mirror match. Let's see. I would say overall this die roll was significant, right?
Yeah.
Can pay a huge difference in this matchup.
In a combo mirror match, whoever wins the dice roll is very much in favor of doing well. I will be honest, it is a very important part of the matchup, especially in combo decks. You don't generally play too much disruption, but we'll see if Andrea has anything for this as we begin with Primitive Planet Reichphobia. I like that Danilo here is going in chronological order, starting with the Scareclaw portion of the deck here as we add Reichardt from the deck to the hand.
And you did mention it before the match, but this is one of those decks that is very unique because it plays not one, not two, not three, but 4 different field spells. And yeah, we'll probably get to see all of them throughout the match, but they all are great, honestly. Different things, but...
They all give you YCS Starfrost or the corresponding archetype monster. In this case, we're going for Reichardt. We're going to Meek on the field here, and going to go and climb up into the Light Heart, which is going to be able to get another copy of the field spell, which is a hard once per turn. So generally, when you play against Mannadium, sometimes hitting Lightheart is like a decent point of interaction.
Yeah, especially like starting things off with the Mick, I think is very powerful, especially because like you will be bring others during you know, later on in the game. But I think here, I mean, if I were Andrea, I was not expecting to have a mirror match at all, honestly, because like you know, we said this before, but here starting things off and losing the die roll might be impactful, especially because like I think Mannadium is one of those decks that doesn't play, you know, multiple copies of Ash Blossom or Impermanence. Indeed, I think Andrea is on.
We've seen a Forbidden Droplet and the Econ. That's actually a really good card going second into a combo mirror, specifically because of the... You cannot respond to a Droplet depending on the card you send, so we might see that being able to stop something like Calamity, I think is the version that Danilo's playing, right?
Check, but I'm pretty sure it is.
You can see a Crimson Dragon there.
And there is the first YCS of the match.
Okay.
Definitely not the last.
Yeah, there is Visa Starfrost hitting the field here and combining with Meek, and this is where you're going to get into your Mannadium portion of the deck. Not going for the chronological order with Perla Rhino next. Instead, we will go straight to Calarium, reviving back the Meek. Reamheart also gets a search of a spell from the deck here, and that's going to set up your Synchro play into probably Trisukta, one of the newer portions of the Mannadium engine. Deck recently just came out in Master Duel, actually, a couple of days ago. I've been having a lot of fun with it. It is a powerhouse of a deck, even with some support cards missing here. Manipulating the level is also quite important in this deck. The Meek can facilitate 6 and 10 plays when you're syncing up into the rest of your portion of the deck here. Brings back the Lightheart from the grave because we control YCS Starfrost.
So in general, you want to go up for either the cross ship, like bringing you another piece, and then Apollousa ending up, or the SP, which is very powerful. Of course, now Danilo doesn't know that his opponent is on Mannadium, so maybe if he knew, maybe we'll play this differently. But I mean, we still the cross ship being link summoned, and here maybe we see, yeah, the Baron for sure coming down.
Contact fusing from the graveyard is such a powerful mechanic here, where you banish the stats of exactly 15 and great. 21, which is all of the different personalities of YCS Starfrost, plus himself to go into Astralaud, triggering the cross sheep, bringing back a level 4 lower monster from the graveyard. And it's a really cool monster because it gives you some options going second. Astralaud on summon can destroy a monster and gain the attack.
And I catch Andrea smiling because Danilo was explaining this combo and what he was doing to him, and he was like, "Oh, I know what this does."
I think I know it.
Yeah, I think.
Really? That's how that works? Oh, wow.
Oh,
tell me more.
I had no idea.
There's Crimson Dragon targeting the Baron, tagging itself out into... Who are we going to go for here? This is the Spotter.
I mean, sometimes, not gonna lie, it can happen that you play against a mirror match and then they open, you know, a different combo than what you're used to, and you're like, oh wait, this might be better than what I usually go for. Yeah, why not?
Well, I've never been in that position. I always know the combos.
Absolutely.
Of course.
There's a really important part of this deck here. We're adding reframing, which I think is, it's not a complete Omni Negate, right? It is actually when a spell trap or monster effect is activated.
No, it's absolutely strong.
Yeah, it's a huge card here because Andrea's playing Droplet, and typically you don't play trap cards in unless he draws his maybe one of reframing. So typically you send like monsters and spells, disrupts the entire field, and they can't respond. But reframing as a counter trap card can be used to stop the Droplet if Andrea is open.
Yeah, there is a chance, although anticlimactic, that, you know, I'm always a fan of considering scooping up and not revealing your deck. And this might be one of those situations later on, because like if you're facing, you know, such a threatening field.
Yeah, so
might as well.
what you're alluding to there is the idea of concealing all of your strategy, especially if Danilo here is explaining Mannadium to you, then you know he doesn't know what you're playing. So yeah, that messes up with your opponent's side deck strategy, and they, you know, what do you do against someone who's scooped, right? Like, what do you bring in?
Yeah, it will be an advantage, just because, like, I mean,
no, especially when you're facing Mannadium, I gotta say, because as Alberto was saying, usually in the main deck, you know, they don't have that much slots for, you know, non-engine cards, we could say, and then that way they would probably keep it very similar to game one. And yeah, this is a really good start.
Yeah, I mean, as mentioned, you went for the cross ship and then to the ASP Little Knight, and this is getting a lot of stuff with the trap card being set, honestly, from Andrea's side. It might be difficult to get back into it, although he plays the Droplet, the enemy controllers.
Yeah, but it's that reframing that's really, really strong to play around. And even Droplet is like a very interesting card. I am a fan of the card, but it's much better in decks that, you know, play a lot of spells that you can then chain it to. If you need to actually discard resources, the card is significantly weaker.
I've always been a huge fan of Droplet, and I think earlier this year with Rise Heart in the format, it kind of fell off a little bit, but I love activating a card, chaining to it. All right, well, he knows that his opponent is now on Mannadium, so that is the big reveal here. So Danilo will, at an absolute minimum, know how to side deck here. Ash directly on Calarium, interesting. Sometimes you kind of like against a similar opening here with the Reichardt normal summon. Typically against a combo deck here, there's like sometimes you'll find like specific, really specific points of interaction. Like, okay, once you get to this monster, you want to activate Ash here, for example, right? But sometimes it looks like what Danilo's doing is just kind of prevention is better than cure. Just activate your disruption ASAP, and then just put them on Better Have It with the extenders.
And I think if he was another player, he might have had maybe another thought of activating Ash right away, no? Because like if you don't know the deck very well, and indeed, Andrea passed. So
and, unfortunately, this is exactly what I was saying. This is straight up game, and Danilo takes it, but now he knows what he's up against, and he will prepare for it. So.
Yeah, that's the full combo. That is,
no, I mean,
you know.
that was it. Maybe, I mean, as mentioned, maybe he could have scooped before.
It's whatever. Now he knows, his opponent knows, and we can prepare for what's coming up, which is probably trying and do what your opponent just did to you and, you know, pay back his favor. But now that he goes first, what do you guys think? We mentioned it. It's a combo deck. Usually you don't want to overside in these kind of situations, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, going first, not really much to put in. Maybe a call by talents, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, he has the Droplet. He might be siding out, given that he's going first. He could, I mean,
I think that works quite well, right?
Feels.
Called by 2 talents, take out the Droplet, 3 econ for Droll.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, might work. Might work.
Danilo going second here has Droll. Droll and Lockbird is incredible against combo decks. Generally, they do a lot of special summoning and searching out of the deck here, and Droll and Lockbird is one of the cards that is particularly devastating against Mannadium.
There's also the Pancrotops, which, you know, going second in general, you know, it's just super generic one.
Solid.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of siding extra deck cards, and I've noticed that Danilo here is doing that.
You're a big fan of it.
Yeah, not a lot of people like side deck extra monsters, right?
No, I'm joking. But like usually...
because you don't like sleeving it, right? Like
absolutely.
Yeah,
that's fair enough, to be fair. Yeah, I do agree with that. Usually I don't use the same sleeve, you know, for that. And that can reveal a lot of information. No, in general, I do agree with you that it's maybe disregarded by a lot of players. And sometimes it's really good because you always have access to your extra deck. So it's kind of like a better side deck card that you always have. But obviously, if you can fit those 15 in there, that's also really good. But Yeah, it seems like our duelists were pretty quick with their side decks. They are about to shuffle up for game 2. Let's see whether we are going into game 3 or whether Danilo is going to take us with Chuo. Let's go to the table.
Fun stat here, we did give you the meta breakdown of the decks this weekend, but in terms of card usage, Droll and Lockbird is actually the most popular hand trap this weekend. Actually, even higher than Ash Blossom. Not in the main deck, but as an overall part of the deck list, Droll and Lockbird is more prominent than Ash Blossom this YCS, which I think is
super interesting, honestly.
Probably because decks like this, Mannadium, you know, various search decks, special summoning combos, sometimes Pearly, Droll is pretty good here. Okay, best normal summon in the deck is not Reamheart, apparently, it's Reichheart. So we're going to begin with a search of a rival. And this on resolution is really what we're trying to wait and see if Danilo's got anything here after the search resolves. Nothing coming down here from Danilo. Okay, all right. Well, Mannadium can play through so much. Droll, maybe not as hard. So even if we have something like a Nibiru, there are certain lines in Mannadium if you open well enough that you can keep going, because you can threaten Baron quite early, for example. There's the D-draw style card of the deck here, putting back and returning to draw. Gonna go into Lightheart, and I just love the idea of combining all of these different archetypes in together. Well, I suppose, is it one archetype? Would you consider it the same?
I think it's a close call, I would say. It's yeah, I wouldn't really consider them completely separate, obviously. So
yeah, just combining all of the different storylines into one engine.
It's cool. It's good storytelling. Smooth. You know, a smooth deck. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in a matchup like this, Combo Mirror, it's they're fast at least, you know. So that's something. But you can occasionally just sort of feel like, well, there's not a ton of room for non-engine in a combo deck, so you have to really rely on super blowout cards like the Droll, the Nibiru, like we talked about.
Yeah.
But sometimes it can feel very like, okay, well, I'll go first. All right, then you go first, and then
we'll see.
Then we'll basically just see. Yeah. And you played an Adamancipator Mirror before?
No, I don't think so.
I have the pleasure.
Okay. You haven't had the pleasure?
I haven't had the pleasure. I haven't had the pleasure.
Goki?
I love Goki.
I love Goki mirror matches?
It was. I love Goki. That's what I said. Oh no, yeah, I have some bittersweet memories about that Goki mirror match.
I think there was Cherry, right?
Yeah. Cherries?
Cherries, I think it was not
in Goki.
Yeah, in the not because like it was so popular, no.
I did main them, yeah.
Yeah. Did you?
I did.
We were not a fan.
No, but I did because there were multiple reasons. It's a cool thing, but the thing is, back then you knew that Goki was there and a few other decks. Nowadays we saw the deck breakdown. 12% is the most represented deck. You cannot play cards like that in the main deck, and obviously I think it creates a very unique, environment where you need to take risks. You need to say, okay, I'm gonna disregard this deck, and obviously you take a risk, and if it pays off, it pays off.
It's just, you know, there's weaknesses and strengths in every archetype, right? You can't expect to win every single match, or rather have a good matchup every single duel, right?
Absolutely, and at the end of the day, is having a read again.
Yeah. If you care that much, you can play Ghost Reaper as in the main deck in Labyrinth, and then you just play like one of each card for every single boss monster in the format.
And then, yeah, you can look up at our amazing public events and find the one that most likely fits your Deichu invitation. But nah. Let's see.
Okay, yeah, so we are into the Mannadium portion here. YCS Starfrost on the field, activating the effect of Reamheart in the hand here.
Yeah, similar, although, you know, it's a very different start from the one that Danilo had. The ending might be quite similar.
I think the only way of interruption will be Nibiru, right? And here it comes.
And there it is. Wow. That rock.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So I think this should probably stop the Reamheart from being summoned here, because it is going to be tributing and summoning the tokens here, so the Reamheart will just resolve without effect in the hand.
I mean,
the
deck is about
here.
planets, You know what's good against a planet? You know, good old meteor. So let's see.
That's a good way to take out a planet.
Yeah, again, storytelling is there. So
yeah. I'm really glad they are role-playing for us, honestly.
Good script, good script. Okay.
Okay, so this token is summoned to the field here from Nibiru, the Primal Being, and we still have a lot of cards in the hand with Andrea. Visas and Reamheart have both used their effects, and we've done a normal summon.
Back.
So yeah, you just have to pass. I think the best extender sometimes can be like the Scareclaw Cash Tira is like really good. Other than that, yeah, the stop on Reamheart was massive there.
Yeah, yeah, was huge. And here we see if basically Danilo can capitalize on this. I think we only saw Andreas holding on an Ash Blossom.
Mm-hmm. That's usually hardly enough against Mannadium, but he opens. Oh, with the Meek. Interesting.
Meek Starfrost, maybe.
Does he have it? Okay.
Good.
Now he's gonna, chain block, it looks like.
He wants to resolve Meek, so
makes sense.
He's gonna decide where do we Ash here. Well, the good thing, Andrea probably knows the best places to Ash in this matchup, but in a position like this where Visas hasn't been used, you are still kind of at risk of getting things extended through.
The problem is when you're Andrea, or a good thing if you're Danilo, you don't even need to combo off here. You just need,
you just need to do enough.
Yeah. Exactly. Or just, deal damage, because the Nibiru helps a lot in this case. So, I don't know. You don't really need to do complicated stuff. Even if you just access a Baron, that might be enough alongside another monster. So,
yeah, Andrea's like quite depleted on cards and resources. So, just doing a humble combo here should potentially
humble combo like that.
A humble combo in this day and age, is still like...
Yeah, exactly. What is your definition?
15 special summons, two negates, etc.
Oh.
All right, levels manipulated here. We've got an 8 play on the field. As we combine Reamheart and Meek. What are we going for here? Potentially Amritara. And that will search you any spell and trap from your Mannadium deck.
Thinking about it.
Okay, Ash Blossom here is pretty strong. Oh, linking it off straight away into Lightheart.
Okay.
He has a plan.
Think about it.
Yeah.
There's a plan.
Now he's also under, of course, his opponent Nibiru, but I mean, going first, maybe you don't necessarily expect it. No draw and lock yet, so
I think that would be the only thing that they should play around here, right? Because apart from that,
Nibiru?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, it is one of those, I think, cards that is sometimes, depending on the matchup, even better going first.
Yeah.
Because, you set up your field, and then if they break it, you have the Nibiru, and that's game over.
I mean, apart from that, honestly, I mean, would you like try to push and seal
for
it?
sure. You just go for it. We talked about this later on. You will see a few of the matches that we have had the pleasure of recording. Some Masters versus Casters, some Chronicles, and in mine against Jesse, we discussed about this, whether you feel like you take the risk and you just go for game, or you play conservatively. And I think we both have similar stances on that. You just take the risk in these scenarios when you smell, blood in a way. So,
yeah, I think it's always easier as well, because you just put your pedal to the metal here, and that's exactly what it's doing. Going into the Calarium now, using the Obsession, getting the Visa Starfrost to the hand, and just keep going. And you can bring back Lightheart, do more extensions, go up into Cross Sheep, Astral, pop the token, gain the attack, and perform more synchro plays. Very easy for this deck to OTK. Now the question is, do we have enough? Just one card remaining in hand here.
All of this while staying humble, though. Keep that in mind, because that's a crucial part of the combo.
The token, the Nibiru's token is not that big, right?
No, it's not. You should be able to get rid of it quite easily just with Baron pop.
That it is.
You could leave it on the field for as long as possible. Maybe, I don't know, imperm, but I guess you probably would have set it. Yeah, there's not really anything you're too worried about at this point.
And this might be it.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good here for Danilo as we banish Starfrost, Rhyme Heart, summon Astrolaud. And that's going to be a decent amount of damage here in the attack modes.
Absolutely enough. And with the Baron to protect from the Nibiru, there is not much that can go wrong. Yeah, he's just, okay, I guess popped right after or right before. And he gets the Meek. Okay.
Yeah, doing some mats.
Looks like the Astrolaud might just be enough here. Or maybe double checking if Astrolaud gains attack equal to the original attack of the monster, or might have an interesting interaction with the token there. Yeah, that's definitely what they're checking here, to see if Astrolaud gains the attack of the token that it had on the field, or if it is considered 0. Or question mark, I guess. Worst case scenario, just link off up into access codes. It's 53 plus 30 arrival.
And there's an arrival as well. So.
Stop, Danilo, it's over. Keep going. Sometimes you just don't get enough opportunities to play out your combo, right?
Yeah.
Trisutka. Yeah, that's the new one here.
Yeah.
Let's see what this does in application. Practically, what do we do with this cards?
Sorry, Andrea, but
just
this is what people wanted to see, and you had to be the victim. Congrats to Danilo. Great 2-0 victory.
Yeah.
Let's go back to us.
Mannadium was going to win this match.
Oh, yeah.
So
that
was always a given. And here we are with Danilo's impressive 2-0. Because, usually you go like, you lose one, you win one in a combo mirror, but 2-0 is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, we said this before. I think the die roll was important in this matchup. It started things off very well, showing us how powerful the deck is. So game 1 was pretty straightforward, we have to say. Nothing, unfortunately, for Andrea said that he could have done. And game 2, I think that, he hashed the Nibiru right away, and then there was the Nibiru as well. I said, yeah, this is the right spot, no? So, well played by him. So, 3 wins and 1 draw.
I think the only thing he could have done differently was maybe just not revealed his deck. Then maybe that Nibiru could have been sided out. Not in the main deck, he wouldn't have to worry about it potentially. Because keeping Nibiru against an opponent that you don't know what they're playing could be a little risky.
Fair enough, but it's one of those things that I feel like can be repetitive by saying event after event, but it's one of really niche interactions that only few players would consider, and yeah, it's a skill that you can pick up on, and obviously you're on stream. Maybe you don't want to just go and not play. You can enjoy your time here. It's a rare occasion for most duelists, and it's an amazing opportunity. We already have quite the crowd gathered to watch these matches live, and it's a pretty incredible show. But regardless, if all of you guys from home again voted on the poll, Mannadium, even though it was a mirror match, proved to be a quite good deck. It's something that we should keep in mind, and you mentioned it, the role is quite popular, so our duelists know about it. They know maybe that Mannadium was a force to be reckoned, but we'll see later on. Now it transitions into day 2 and then later into Top Cut. But yeah, that was a great match, and I would say thank you guys for being with us for round 4. But we have to hear it from Danilo, the winner of round 4 with Ed.
Thank you, Marcello. I am joined by Danilo Petroni, the winner of our round 4 feature match here at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series live in Bologna. So, Danilo, how are you feeling? It must feel pretty good to win one of those feature matches.
Yes, I wasn't expecting a mirror match, and I wasn't expecting also to go to the feature match. Yeah, it was tough, and I was thinking about the last game, the second game. My hand was not really good, and I had to decide to drop Nibiru after the combo, or maybe just to trade Baron, or to try to stop it, but with the risk that my other cousin hand would have been dead maybe, and so I opted to drop Nibiru, and it worked, so nice for me. Yeah.
I mean, it went incredibly well for you. It was very decisive. That was the first. Andrea scooped in that first game because you just built a huge field. The second one, that Nibiru just completely stopped Andrea, and then you built the field again to just take the win. So pretty decisive. Talk to us a bit about Mannadium. What is it that you personally like about Mannadium?
Personally, I like combo decks, so I like the Mannadium engine, and I just like to drop synchros, XCs, fusions. I like all of them, and so also links, and so Mannadium is the best choice for me, and it is working. So I hope it lasts until the end.
So when you're in a feature match and you're also in a mirror match, well, forget the feature match. When you're in a mirror match with Mannadium, what goes through your head? What kind of things are you having to think about? And how do you approach a mirror match with Mannadium?
I must absolutely win. I cannot lose. I must not lose. And yeah, that's all.
Well, fair enough. I mean, and you did well doing that. You managed to take that. You've got to be the Mannadium king.
Just a little bit nervous because of the first feature match. So, you know, yeah, but fortunately, I won. So.
You did. So congratulations on that. That means you're now 3 wins, 1 draw, right?
Yes.
And is there anything you're nervous about going up against over the rest of the weekend with your Mannadium deck, or are you pretty confident?
Yeah, I am pretty confident. I've been playing Mannadium since the 1 month, but since 2 months, I don't remember. So I am pretty confident, and I hope not to misplay in the next matches.
Well, best of luck in those matches, Danilo. There you go. Possibly your Mannadium king, seeing what happens as we go forward. Best of luck to your future rounds. I hope it goes well for you. Guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to have our round 5 feature match coming up very soon. But before that, we've got a cheeky little new video that we're doing. So we've been speaking to some really, really key players in the EU scene and talking to them about their decks and showing off some combos. So right now, let's take a look at Jesko, who's going to take us through exactly how to play that Rika deck.